And I don't like having to make a video like this. I really don't, because I do feel like Jinxie is a good creator. But I do feel like he miscalled a particular round that should have actually been reran backwards and then completely removed off book. Because if you slow down the clip, Jinxie, if we go back into, it is 1-1, which means at the end of the round would be 2-1. It is actually the round where you have, what is their names? Hold on. There it is. Carter and Grumpy. Okay, they're doing their 1v1 because you're doing your video about you versus the rank you deserve, which you're trying to hint at maybe you don't deserve. But in that round, going to 2-1, meaning like they're ending 1-1, okay, Grumpy missed his shot. Rewind it back, look legit in slower, like the slower speed downtime. You think Grumpy did this, when in reality he shot right here. Legit meters off. Okay, not even a meter. Like we'll call it millimeters off. Okay, millimeters off. Like legit, there is where the shot actually happened. Then it carried forward to looking at his chest. So yes, the game actually screwed Carter on this round. We can say Hit Reg screwed him. I literally watched it, I think, like 6 times. 3 times in full speed, 3 times in legit the slowest speed YouTube lets you go down to. And yes, he shot right here and then carried the aim. He missed. He completely whiffed. The game gave it to him. It literally let him shoot Carter's ghost, not him. Because even in the blurred bit where I stopped it right at the shot, where it blurs it a bit, you can see the careful outline of where his arm, maybe the main chest would be. He was actually shooting way out here. He was not even on him. Okay? He was not. If anything, that would have actually have been an arm shot, and in Siege, the damage reduction to limb means he should have been at lowered health, not dead. So yes, he missed. He whiffed. Okay? Because even if so, if it wants to shoot here and register after he moved his aim, it should have only registered on the arm. So Jinxie, yes, you called that round wrong. I am going to point that out. I haven't seen the rest of the clip to see how bad he gets slammed after, but I had to stop right there to say, yes, Jinxie, you bullshitted your player there. Okay, you even hyped up a diamond that I feel is not even a real diamond either. Let's be honest. Because at the end of the day, when I versed people at diamond level, they did not pleb shots, nor did they do dumb shit. Okay, and the reason I'm saying this, if you go back and watch your so-called diamond, yes, he was out in the middle, crouched. He wasn't behind a head glitch doing like this. He wasn't, behind something leaning out of it or strafe peeking it. He was legit out in the open, crouched, moving as slow as you possibly can, allowing someone just to come through and legit just go bink and kill him, okay? That's not diamond material. Okay, I don't know about you. I'm not even diamond in Call of Duty. Okay, let's put it this way. I'm not a diamond in COD, but I still know strafing. I still know how to, peek, over shit. And I'm just a gold, okay? I'm just a gold, and I can understand this. Same as the movement of, slide canceling into something. The different, bunny hops in this game, because we are in BO, I think BO7. So I do understand that. But again, a diamond is not going to be horribly off to the point where it's bink, and then getting a kill here, and then still claiming that kill. A diamond would say, I probably actually should have missed that. Because if he's a true diamond, and he himself caught himself in the moment that the bullet went legit way over here, or even just slightly off and not really into the chest, I'd call that any day. I would literally come in Call of Duty being oh shit, I probably shouldn't have won that gunfight, man. What the fuck? Like, I call that on myself even as a gold player, okay? Now, mind you, this is my first season ever actually touching ranked and trying to play as hard as I possibly can in COD, and I'm legit Diamond 3, which is high, by the way. Jinxie, it goes the other way in this game. It doesn't go 3, 2, 1, it goes 1, 2, 3. So I have to reach Gold 3, and then I can move into Platinum 1, okay? Over there, it goes diamond, like copper 4, then copper 3, then 2, then 1, and then you move into bronze, right, and silver. That's not how this game works. This game works going the opposite direction. So it goes 1, 2, 3, and then into 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so forth up to you get up to top 250, all of that shit. But there is also the best player in the world over here, something I've heard you say over there you wish Siege would add. COD already has that. So you're asking for something, a feature that COD already has. You get top 250, which is your top 250 skin, and then you actually get your number one player in the world skin, which basically is like a burning on fire gold iridescent version of top 250. But anyways, I am a gold player. You can see with the white and the... Actually, we'll just do this right quick, right? And I'm not a Warzone gold. I am a true gold, okay? Meaning I am gold. Well, you don't see it here. If I go to operators, and then we go into the ranked section here, you're going to see gold competitor, okay? I am a true gold competitor. I'm not a Warzone gold where literally like it's the easiest part of the game to reach higher rank in. I'm not a Warzone gold. I am a true gold, what people call a multiplayer gold. I am not a false gold, okay? If I hit my next rank, which would be, what, plat? Then I would be a true plat. See, because you have top 250, and then you have the overall competitor, like your, number one overall competitor. So they do have this, okay? And it's not only the top 1,000 best players. No, this is the top player in the entire world for COD. Gets this skin, and you can see they get a crown. Okay, just wanted to show that off. But yes, there is BO7 ranked competitor, which means you basically just played ranked and you're like super low placement. Then, you got your gold, your platinum, your diamond, your crimson, your iridescent, top 250, and overall, okay? I actually placed myself, thought of myself, right, playing at the height of a gold player, and guess what I ended up getting? Gold. I had the mentality, I knew the skill level I had was gold, got into gold. Guess what, guys? I'm actually near platinum. I'm actually pretty close to plat. How close is that? Like 400 MMR, okay? And I'm actually not going to lie about that. I'm going to prove it. So if I go to ranked play right here and click on it, you are going to see I am gold 3, 3,250 of this. All I need is 3,600. I might have lost a little here, but you guys get the idea. 3,250, because, there might have been a cheater on my team, so when that happened, I got, SR minus. Same as if I go against the cheater, I will actually gain SR, right? But 3,250 from 3,600, okay? I am that close to being plat, okay? That's 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah, 400 away. We'll say, because I'm counting it directly from 2, so 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm actually 350 350 SR, for MMR, your ranked whatever, from being a plat player. Legit, I'm at least near plat. And I've literally told myself I was a gold player. And that is how far that I've gotten. I haven't overestimated myself. I actually underestimated myself because I literally said low gold, and I'm actually a high gold, okay? Now, can I say I probably could have ended up maybe a little higher in my placement? Probably. Because I will say I did have some really sucky teammates, because my first 3 placement matches. Well, technically, I can't say 3 because it was a little more than 3 because I had to end up winning. So every win is what gets you your, okay, now 2 more wins, 1 more win. I think I went through 6 matches just in order to get my placement. And it wasn't even on me. I was top fragging. I would literally carry my search and destroy team. My team just could not hold together. They would die and then accuse the other team of hacking, but I was going like fucking 15-5, right? Against the enemy. They weren't cheating. Just my other 3 teammates were dying early in the round or running at shit they shouldn't. They would literally say, oh, you're hard scoping right lane. And then what do they do next round? They run down right lane and get hard scoped again and then whine and bitch about it instead of molding their gameplay, right? Being like, okay, they hard scope right. Maybe I run left. Maybe I go mid. Maybe if I do go right, I don't poke out and I let them come to me. So that way now they're pushing me into my heady, right? They did not mold the gameplay that way. They kept running into it, leaving me legit in 1v4 situations. I think literally out of 6 rounds, we won 4-6. Literally, well, technically we lost, but it was 4-6. As in, they won, but I clutched 4 rounds for us, having to basically solo 1v4 an enemy team. Okay? Yeah, I lost that. And that's literally what a lot of other rounds were. Or if I actually started hopping into the other game modes, like think of domination, but it's not dom. I can't think of the name directly off my head, but you have to capture a zone, hold it. Think of King of the Hill in a way, where it's one zone and it rotates and moves after ever so often. I just can't think of the name of the game mode off the top of my head, but you guys get the idea. I would literally be on zone protecting it, and my team would flip the spawn for the wrong spawns. Like, if I knew zone 1 is here and zone 2 is going to go towards the enemy spawn at the beginning of the round, I would be like, okay, guys, we need to capture their side to flip it. And that way, when we lose hill, we can regain on new spawn for the new hill. Team would not do that. One would run out and try to control spawn and die immediately. The others would completely set back behind the line or in our spawn. So when we got taken off the hill and they cap the last, we'll say like 10 seconds of the last hill, they get the whole other fucking hill, giving up our win, right? And they would do this consistently throughout the match. And I would try to proactively say, hey guys, we need to have this spawn or X, Y, and Z. So, yes, you do get fucked over and thrown under the bus by a lot of other players. And some of them are low-skilled players, especially when you start out early in the game. You're versing people that actually might be top 250, diamond, the higher rank, something that's not your skill level. And you're taking those losses under the belt, okay? But also, you do get idiots on your team. A lot of times, okay? And I will say this, me solo queuing in, 3 people in a party, and they all played like idiots. I'm literally carrying a 3-man squad and carrying just to lose, all right? It does happen. Now, I've done all this on controller, not on mouse and key. My controller kind of stopped charging. Like, literally, it died. Dude, that controller's like how old? It's like fucking 2 years old. Okay, so the controller just kind of didn't want to charge no more. So I had to throw it in the dumpster. And in doing so, I literally, the only thing I have at the moment till payday, okay, is mouse and key. So that's why you see me plugged in with mouse and key right now. But you can see the big differences in the play style of higher end people. You can. But Jinxie, I will say yes, that one round was bullshit. Okay? To be honest with you, Carter should not have died in that round. At that shot. That shot should have been registered as a miss, either actively letting Grumpy run away and reach out for a new shot and win that one, or should have taken the L and allowing Carter to shoot back, right? And Grumpy not reacting fast enough to run. All right. I do feel like that round needs a reach out. But no, that definitely is a fake diamond, Jinxie. Fake. All right. Movement to the level of aim was not fully there, especially on the round. You want to say he had a perfect, clean one shot? It was not clean, Jinxie. He shot behind the aggressor, not at him and not in front of him. It was behind him, literally following target, not leading or projecting the target, behind target, okay? He actually should have actively lost that gunfight. He shouldn't have won it. I'm going to call that as a person who is going clean to be honest. That gunfight should have been a loss to your friend, the fake diamond. Okay, I will say that is fake. Every diamond I see, okay, when I say diamond, this is plat and diamond. That is a legit plat or diamond. Jiggle peaks in Siege. I'm sorry, they will go to a corner and literally fucking jiggle peek it. Okay, they will shoot drones correctly. They don't roam off site. Even like people that don't 1v1 necessarily, when they know they're the last alive and they're a true diamond, they understand zone protection. Not let me roam half across the map and give up the whole zone. Well, let's be honest to that too, Jinxie. He's not a diamond. That is a carried diamond, not a true. Next, Jinxie. Yes, having a 6-man squad makes the game easier. Okay? So, yeah, to me, that ain't a true diamond. If you have 6 people that can somewhat shoot, and the enemy team is giving 1 or 2 randoms that don't know what the fuck they're doing, of course they're going to lose that match. So, that gap being there to say that this dude stays under a certain skill bracket is kind of bullshit. Okay? That's why I feel if you are going to allow matchmaking for stacked players to go into a ranked game, the matchmaking should already look to see how many people is stacked together and find people of an equal stack size. So if it's a stack of 3, then the enemy should at least have a stack of 3. Okay, that way there's only one independent variable on each side. That changes. Have the game actually forced to find people of equal stack. So this way the skill level is actually equalized. That way you don't have 5 people that are solo queued going against 5 people that are completely stacked the fuck up. Okay? That to me, get that shit out of here. That is a fake rank. Because one, you're telling me that you lose your gunfight, but you can rely on someone behind you that you're stacked to, you can call out to, that understands you to get the gunfight to win it, is kind of bullshit. All right? Realistically, the way I see it, if you died, you should not be able to speak. You are dead. Okay? If you lost that gunfight, you shouldn't be making a fucking peep. Okay, which I do understand there's going to be people that go against that and say like, oh, give call-outs, cameras, now it's utility time. But to me, a dead person shouldn't be able to speak. A real good call-out should be while you are still alive, before you take that gunfight. Hey, there's movement on this side. I'm initiating my fight on XYZ hallway. He is on this side while we are partaking in this firefight. Then if you die, someone can back you up. Maybe outflank. Do whatever they need to do to win that gunfight. But that call out should be before you die. A real proactive person who is really good at the game is going to be able to say, for instance, A side, left side of statue, take and fight. And then if he dies, the friendlies know where you died from. Right? Instead of waiting till you die to give that call out. Because 2 things can happen here. 1, the person could still be there and you kill him because you just gave the call out. But 2, that call out now could also be null and void. Because when you call out after you're dead, you're no longer seeing him. You're going to a camera, unless that camera is in a room showing him moving. Or B, before you're even on cam, you're going to the helmet cam of your team. Meaning you're seeing out of your teammate's eyes before you go to camera. Meaning, he could easily move. So now your call out you just gave partakes 0 real information. Do I stream on any other platform? I do stream on Twitch occasionally. Not that far. from YouTube because that's the only two I stream at the moment. But as I was saying, Jinxie, that round was bullshit. Okay? It was. I'm not even the person in the clip, known as Carter. I'm a whole different channel, but I could tell you he shot behind Carter. He did not hit. He did not land his bullet. You gave an official win to a round where a dude missed his fucking shot. I literally went to the sound of the boom on the shotgun and paused it. The dude was literally aiming to the right of the shoulder blade, meaning off the shoulder blade. He wasn't even on target. He shot a ghost in that point. So the hit reg screwed over Carter. But yeah, I am gold, nearly plat. I'm not going to full solo queue because of the fact of I will get the chance of getting like horrible teammates, and if I lose any games, I will lose SR. That's why I do want somewhat of a team, meaning like at least 2 or 3 players in a squad before I even risk my SR. But I'm not going to ask for a whole full stack of 4, right? I'm just not going to do that over here. But anyways, Jinxie, I will say your call out for that round was bullshit. All right. And I'm not doing this to be mean to Jinxie because, again, I will say he is a good creator and a good portion of the times he is right. But on this case, I will have to say how the placements went down, the 1v1s went down. I will have to say that round was bullshit. The dude did miss. Okay. And then you proceeded to say it was a clean one shot on something. If you slowed down yourself and retook a look at, you would notice the dude plebbed it. He shot to the right, not on target. Little bit cringe, Jinxie. Little bit cringe. Not to mention, Jinxie, you have this cringe play style where you call shields cringe, but one-shotting shotguns is not too OP and is not cringe ball. I'm sorry, but both in Siege is cringe. I will have to call you on that too. Shotguns and shields in Siege is cringe. They both are frowned upon. Get that out of the way. That's the same over here with the one-shotting sniper rifles with zero fucking flinch, okay? It is cringe. There's no actual real skill behind it, and that's another reason why the popularity to sniping at the moment for Call of Duty is not actually popular. People might get 1,000 viewers, but go look at Punch, someone who doesn't use a sniper. 30,000 views compared to 1,000, okay? One, he also formulates more skill in his matches, but 2, he's proving how broken snipers actually are. Zero flinch, one shot, lucky one shots. You could literally run up with a machine gun, hit them like 3 times with it, and then they just get a lucky one shot hip fire and kill you. It's just pointless to say snipers aren't broken. They are. That's the reason they get disqualified out of anything for LAN events. Like when it comes to LAN, to make money when they do their competitions, snipers are not allowed because of those reasons. One shot, zero flinch, infinite range fucking shotgun. Okay? With the luck barrier of eating 3 bullets just to dish out a one shot kill. Okay? It takes no skill. You can say, yeah, but your first shot has to be accurate, but that's the only shot you need is your first. Think about it. An AR has to hit you 3, 4, if not 6 times before it kills you, which means they have to show more accuracy to actually track you with it than the first bullet. Because imagine if one shot killed on an AR, right? The balancing of the game, snipers one shot, ARs one shot. Snipers wouldn't be as broken, okay? Then ARs would actually be getting a good amount of things. Notice, when I say a good amount of things, that would be kills, because it would only need one bullet to do so. And yeah, at fully automatic, you think that is broken, but snipers are the same way. Zero shot, infinite range shotguns. Especially in the new COD, MW4, if you even just tap your right mouse button or your L2 on your controller, just tapping it, there's no shot deviation. You can just tap it and then click R2 with the hip fire. And that thing literally shoots completely straight. Okay? Just wanted to point that out. So yeah, they broke snipers even more over there compared to this game. But snipers are broken. And that's the reason no one watches sniper clips anymore. There's no actual real skill that partakes behind the sniper other than the lucky first shot that they pull off. And plus, they're plagued with cheaters at the moment. A lot of your snipers that actually sit down and try to quick scope, they actually get wall hacks and aimbot. And those that turn the aimbot off are still using walls. They track you nicely through a wall. Again, no skill, especially when you're having to crouch off of a weapon that insta-kills in one shot. And I'm calling that out from both Call of Duty to even Jinxie on Siege with the one-shotting shotguns. Boss G, I can't remember the other one, but there's another one that you can get that literally one-shots over there. Anything that takes the first bullet to kill on something that can hit reg behind somebody and not directly on them and still kill them within one bullet is already bullshit. Okay? It takes more skill to show you can track your target and land every shot from an AR than it does firing your first shot and getting a lucky hit with a sniper. So being where with a sniper, which I'm not in MW4, so I can't just tap the right trigger and then instantly hit. But imagine we were doing this, we go to firing range, and imagine this being a sniper, right? Anything you come in and go, that is already broken. When imagine this is your full auto. That's how many you have to hit, okay, in order to kill. Which means if I go, and then I pleb over here, I'm not getting that kill compared to a sniper who goes and then just gets it. Right? Or maybe he gets lucky, shoots right here, but the game registers that. And that's all he needs. Less fucking skill to use any one-shotting weapon in the game. Alrighty? Less skill. I'll go ahead and pull that up right now. Less. If you can use a full auto that is outside of meta and still grab the same amount of kills as you would if you played meta, proves you 10 times better of a player than any other player. Okay? If you can pick up any gun and naturally use it and drop high kills, and I mean any gun, you are a wonderful and amazing good player at a game. You should not have to have a crutch of something inside of meta or broken, I should say, in order to feel like you're good at the game. And that's why I love Punch. So if you guys want to know, Punch goes big on YouTube. Go look him up. Go give him a sub. He will actually actively step outside of meta weapons and still win games. Still drop 20 plus fucking kills in his matches without having to pull meta. That is skillful, my dude. That is a wonderful skilled player. He deserves more subs than he actively has right now. And I mean plenty more. I'm talking about, like, if we go backwards in time, the old saying of, like, the biggest YouTubers, that's what he should be today. One of the biggest YouTubers. He should be. Okay? So, I will say, Punch, wonderful man, dude. I love the content. Jinxie, Good content, but you got to work on your like actual focus skills to see what actually hits and doesn't, my dude. I am actually legally blind, and I seen that was a miss. Okay, you play sports where your vision has to be really good because you don't wear glasses, and somehow you seem to actually fail to see it. I hate to have to say that, my dude, but I literally played it back 6 different times, 3 regular speed, 3 in super slow, and paused it literally directly at the sound of shot, meaning the boo from the boss G. That boom is ignition, the ignition of the gunpowder, which means seconds afterwards. I mean seconds, not a minute, not even a second, like half a second. That bullet's already left the fucking barrel. Okay, from the ignition of the gunpowder, the explosion. Okay, there's a reason bullets fly faster than sound. Okay, that bullet would be exiting the end of that gun before it swayed, which means it would have actually hit the wall behind to the right of the dude. It wouldn't have been hitting the dude at all. Okay? That was not a clean one shot. That was a clean miss. And I feel like you should have caught that, because if my blind ass can see it in full time, real time, by the way, on the kill cam, right? Meaning not the initial shot, but the cam afterwards, you should have caught that too. That round should have already been DA'd, removed, and immediately been like, the next round, we are pulling the same shit. You're going to go back into this corner. He is going to set in this one, and we're going to play from where the fuck it was and let it re-go. Okay, you should have done that. God, it's been like, how long since I played COD? Because I've been playing fucking, Arma Reforger for like 4 days now. For the complete days, like literally, I don't play any other thing but Arma Reforger, just because I love sniping with the bit that I've been playing on. And the other day, I think even after like the stream crashed, when I crashed out of the game, I continued playing with my cousin. I just didn't like restart the stream. But we literally held off an entire enemy force from one objective as just two of us. The other people there were running around mindless chickens with their head cut off, not even getting a kill. The only ones getting a kill at that point was me and my cousin. We literally took it. Like, they were having issues. Me and my cousin show up, we take it. And we hold it for the whole, hour and a half, 2 hours, just me and him. And then decide to move on, and that's when everything started hitting the fan. As in the enemies retook it, and because of my cousin's building, it was harder to retake it back. I will say I love my cousin to death, but he doesn't always think tactically. And it really pissed me off, not yesterday, but the day before, when me and him are the only ones pushing certain zones, and we're taking them over, right? We've pushed back NATO all the way back to their spawn and went all the way to Firebase Alpha. I broke down everything to make it harder for them to defend it, meaning I removed their helipad, removed the arsenals, I removed out walls, I pulled off all the fucking towers, so that way if they did take it back, it'd be easier for us to come back in and take it. And they would have to spend time trying to build everything, because it's 20% per time that circle goes all the way around to build one object, which I think is like 5 seconds per thing, which means they probably only would have had like a heli placement or a vehicle placement. By then, we're already back at the base shooting them, where I could tear it down and keep them off of the objective, and we could hold it a lot easier. He rebuilt back the vehicle depot, the helipad, and an arsenal, which gives them 3 key features that is used in the game to make it easier to defend that base. Arsenal for the anti-air, okay, so they can keep pulling out iglas and shooting our helicopters down. Heavy vehicles for tanks, any super armored vehicles with actual 40 millimeter fucking weapons and higher. He gave that back to them. And I sit there and try to tell him, like, hey, there's a reason I tore all this down, right? I don't want them to be able to build back up. And he's like, yeah, well, I kind of want a vehicle. Okay, if you wanted a vehicle, you didn't have to build it. Go back to our main spawn or go to a base we have actively built and get a vehicle. Even if that means suiciding, losing a little bit of your rank, do that, because that rank is easy to get back. Especially at the time we were doing this, it was like, what, one NATO online after, because we made the others rage quit. It was like one of the FIA members, literally just two enemies on the map all together. Him being able to go back to the MOB or any other place we've already built, picking up a heli there, like we'll say a supply heli, which carries 600 supplies. He could have made one or two trips supplying bases at a base he wants to fully build, get his rank back, and supply a base to build it. Then giving a base complete, I'll say, defense for the enemy when they take it to keep us off it. If that makes sense. I love you to death, Guzzo. I do. I love you. But I like to think more tactically. And yes, it irritates me. I'm not going to say I hate you. I'm not going to play with you. I just wish you would think about things in the same concept of, if we're like, the two bases they're pushing is Firebase and that base, which is the first two bases on their side of the map. We should not be building that up to make it easier for them to take and defend. We should actually be making sure they stay less built, nothing at them. That way, if they do take it, it's easier for us to push and reclaim it and keep them the fuck off of it, okay? That's literally all I was asking for in that moment. But I'm not here to bash my cousin. I'm just saying, like, that's what was going on then, what irritated me 2 days ago. And then last night, we were playing really good together. I'm talking about, we were holding people off. There's no issues. Me and him would go push another area and advance onto it, get them off of that area just to lose the other one because of our dumbass team. Okay, I will say that, due to the dumbass teammates. So if we're looking at a map, right? Like, if we was to look at any map in multiplayer and bring up, like, the actual map scale to it, which I don't think we can actually do, but let's just say we were in multiplayer and we'll take, what, like, this map, for instance, right? It's going to actually rotate the different maps here. Is there a way I can actually, like, do the layouts to this, like, show the maps, actual map, like we're looking at a mini map and not actually be in the match? I don't think we can, but what we can do is we'll go into this, wait for this to connect, and go find that map again, or in any map, really, because I can just click on maps and then hover over it. But let's take a map that we can clearly see the routes on, right? Okay, like this one. So you got this route, the mid route, and the route to the right here, right? Let's say this is an objective, this is an objective, the mid room is an objective, and this left route, this left route is an objective. So 1, 2, 3, 4 objectives, okay? And we'll say that's like that all the way back. So once we capture this and we move up to these 3 objectives, we don't need people here. Okay, maybe the new people spawning in that might need to create their loadout before pushing in needs to be here. But where our majority of the team should be is holding down this middle control. So, like, let's say if there's 60 players, 20, 40, 60, okay? So this way, now we can actually move forward to the next 3 zones, or the next zone that might be up here, and then we leave, what, like 5, 10, 15, so 5 in each spot back here, and the rest push forward, locking control of the map. So this way, 1, they can't send enemies around behind us to back cap us, but 2, they can't just push into our front line and just decimate a zone, okay? That is actually how this should be played. Less people in the back, more forward. Then after we take this zone and 1 more, which means we take that mid zone right here, pushing closer into their spawn, These back zones, the enemies can no longer cap those. We pushed them too far back. They don't have an area near it, right, to come push forward, which means they cannot touch those zones. That's when our whole front line moves to now both of the middle zones, and the back line back here moves up to those middle zones. We don't need to have troops back here. Okay? That is actually what we call map control, superiority. We're getting ground superiority, especially with people that do use the cast runs and actively hunt down helicopters using a little bird, can give us air superiority. But in doing so, we need to take control. We cannot have people sitting way back here doing nothing while the enemies are pushing this up here and leaving a weak spot. Our weak spot is where they're going to find, hit, and push from. Meaning they're going to take it and they're going to find their next weak spot, push it. They're going to find the next one, push it. And they're going to keep doing that till they gain superiority of our side of the battlefield. So we need to keep superiority pushing them, hammering the enemy, keeping them in their spawn, keeping them on the first objective they can ever fucking claim. Okay? And that is how we should be playing that over in Arma, as everyone plays. We leave way too many openings, which is where, if you've seen the other day, I was setting up on my rock, right? We capped the zone behind us. We had a zone over here. The enemy was like flying in and landing nearby and running up. But in doing so, we had enemies cap the zone behind us and then start pushing from behind. And yeah, me and my cousin locked that off and stopped them from being able to push up to the zone. Just two of us. But that could have been a whole lot harder if their whole fucking team was coming in. If they had like two full helis, like one land on one side, one on the other, people running up from that zone they just pushed, two people would never hold out on that. They would have decimated the team, finally eventually found Razor and found me. If not in that order, then found me, then found Razor, wiped us, and would have stormed the point. We need to learn to have control when it comes to Arma. Like, everyone is a player. We need to push, not sit back for far too long and leave weaknesses across the map. We need to actually have some actual proper ground troops on the right locations. But with all that aside, guys, I don't like servers allowing 3 teams where one team can just one moment be like, okay, we're cool with Russia, and then kill US. So then it's 2 legit teams versus US. So 90 troops versus 100 and something. And then them going, oh, US is starting to look weak. Let's turn on Russia. And then literally, like, I get it. You're trying to keep the game going longer. But we should not be allowing 100 and something troops to attack 90. It needs to stay 90 versus 90 versus 90, if that's the amount of players that's optimally allowed. So we should always have balance. So one team is trying to lock all objectives, another team is trying to lock all objectives, and the last team should be trying to lock all objectives. And having it actually be all-out war. We shouldn't be having a friendship of 90 players befriend another 90 players, being well over 100-something players, to smash a whole nother force, okay? Because then that is 90 versus, we'll say, 120. At that point, numbers win, okay? Even both spawn on a different thing. So, like, NATO can spawn literally east, and then we have west for independent or whatever. And then Russia spawns, the opposite of the map of NATO. If Russia pushes into the middle, guess what that sets up? NATO can push from their side. Independent teams with NATO can actually just come from behind. That is literally 90 troops in the front, 90 in the back. That is hard to defend against. Okay? It's practically impossible. More improbable because I mean it is doable if 90 players suck and the whole other 90 players suck and the 90 taking the hit is actually good players, then it's possible, but I'm not going to say everyone is so fucking horrible. Which means it's going to be basically impossible for 90 people to cut off 120 or 130, right? Or 140 players, having to split 30 people looking one way and 60 a whole nother. Because at that point, that's 60 versus 90, and then 30 versus 90, right? You can see how uneven that split is. And I'm not going to say with these servers, there's always 90 players on each team because some of the teams do not actually fill, but you get the idea. Like if the server was to become max population, that would literally be 90 versus 140 people. Okay. 90 in the front and 90 in the back. The proportions of people shooting to win that is going to be hard, especially if two of the people get air superiority. Let's say NATO doesn't get attack choppers. Okay. Russia does. Independent gets the regular gun, no missiles, but they still get a chopper that has a gun. NATO doesn't. They want to nerf us because maybe we have good anti-air and actual tanks. So they actually remove the helis from us and give helis to the Russia side because they don't have great land vehicles, so they got to give them good air vehicles to try and balance. But let's say Russia teams with Independent. Well, now that's two teams that get actual choppers with guns on it, right? As U.S. doesn't. At that point, here comes strafe run from Russia. Here comes a strafe run from Independent, removing our players off the battlefield, giving less of us to try to defend with more enemies pushing in, right? The balancing is gone at that point. So there needs to be a server rule to break that up, meaning everyone fights every other faction, meaning Independent should be fighting Russia and US with no alliances. Russia should be fighting Independent and US with no alliance. US needs to be fighting Independent and Russia with no alliance. Okay? There should never be an alliance of team to team. That can really break up something that hard for balancing. If that makes sense. Like, at least keep your server balanced. Which is one thing I was trying to get with ASAP Gaming because I did play their servers for a little bit, and I was like, hey, ASAP, FIA, I get it. You're trying to make them be, how the game intends them to be in a way. But at the moment, if there's three teams, FIA just gets screwed over, especially if they need anti-tank when US is just pooping out tanks constantly, same as Russia. You're not just outgunned, you're just literally just clicking something to Gray Still Plays deaths, man, like over and over and over and over repeatedly. You gotta add some balancing. Add some better anti-tank so that way tanks aren't as prevalent to destroy an entire fucking faction's push. And second hand, having AKs with no attachments, I'm sorry, if you're telling me they're a militia, okay? A militia gets its guns not only through the black market, which, by the way, the black market gives you every fucking thing under the sun. So full auto weapons from either fucking team with any fucking optic scope they can get their hands on to sell is going to be sold along with the weapons, okay? Which means I should not be reduced down to like one fucking optic or nothing. I should actually be able to have optics. Next, if we're going over militia, they also gain weapons a second way, not just the black market. When you shoot an enemy on the battlefield and you pick up their gun, guess what you get? That gun and the optic. which, if they make it back to their base, I'm pretty sure they collected 4 M249s. They're going to find somebody who wants to use the M249 and they're going to hand it to them as part of the militia. That is that person's weapon. Okay? Which means they're not going to be lacking on weapons as a militia team. Okay? So adding extra weapons is not going to break their iconic militia style look. If anything, because of how the server was, I asked for one thing, more weapons, but I told them I wanted Russian weapons. Why? Because the server already had it where legit the militia had already the AK-74U, Spetsnaz weaponry, which by the way is Russian, with maybe one US weapon, maybe one, right? At that point, instead of losing an identity of a militia bias of wanting to use only Russian weapons, I asked for just more Russian weapons, right? Just to be told, you just want them to be another Russia. No, that was already how the server owner set it up. Instead of breaking the immersion of the weapon types they already currently have in their arsenal, just to add more of that type. It's not like I'm actually asking for something to break that immersion. I'm not going in being like, hey, look, they have like 4 Russian weapons, 1 US weapon. Can we have like 8 more US weapons be added to their arsenal? Literally breaking the fucking Russian feel, right? I'm actually staying within that to at least say, let's give them Russian weapons because they already have the majority of their weapons being Russian anyways. Again, keeping the look and feel to the faction. It would be the same way if the server had it where there's 1 Russian weapon and like 5 US weapons. And I'd be like, hey, let's add like more US weapons. Because then it would keep the feel for the US side of the weapon and armaments that the faction is running, right? But literally with me doing that, it's actually quite funny because he tried to say like I just wanted this or that or like try and make fun of me in a way. But the funny thing is other people were asking for balancing too. They didn't do it exactly word for word with the way I just put it, but they're like, hey, this team is like not strong enough. They are too weak. I get it. It does say like outgunned and outmanned, but at the same time, like we need some balancing just for them to get made fun of or just being told no by the owner, right? Which is where I went through and I looked at it and I'm like, look, I done this too. I agreed with one of the people and actually direct messaged him like, hey, I agree with how you feel about it. This is what I done. This is what the owner done to me, right? And me and him, as I already said, like we agree with each other, right? Push comes to shove. I actually do a thumbs up to the dude's comment, like because I can't comment like I agree. Like the dude literally made the fucking ticket read only. So I done a fucking emoji saying I agree, like thumbs up, like yes. And then I went to the owner who said no, and I gave him a face palm, right? Just because I disagreed with the owner. And it wasn't just one post. I'd done this for like maybe 2 or 3. I didn't go excessive with it and find like 20 posts and single out the owner only. I just done this with like stuff I agreed with and then showed that I disagreed with the owner, right? Just because I disagreed with ASAP, I got banned from the Discord. I can still go play the servers. I just got a Discord ban because I disagreed with the owner. A simple disagreement. Like, is the owner like 12 years old and cannot handle someone disagreeing with him? I hate to say that in that manner, but I've also noticed like my cousin sent me clips, which I still have, by the way. They're still sent to me on PlayStation. I can't download them, but what I can do is I can go in, show my phone looking at my TV, click play, and hit record on my phone. I still have them, okay? The dude is team killing players friends with an admin or owner, showing no fear of doing so. And then in the second clip my cousin sends me, the dude just drops fucking racist ass shit. Like, literally, verbally says racist ass shit. Right? And I bet you he is still playing on that server. The owner or none of the admins have taken effect to remove this player who not only is breaking the rules to their own server, no team killing, but also breaching the NDA you accept when you play the game, on top of the NDA to Discord, the same shit you agree to having. But also, when you say no racist remarks, now they're also breaking your remark, which, by the way, racism is against the clause in Arma, Discord, and it actually should be against your Discord server, because that is actually hate speech and a hate crime, which, yes, is punishable. So, yeah, you just literally let him break 3 rules at that point. Your server, Discord, and which is the EULA. When you accept it, that little contract you click I accept to. Racism is against Discord, and also it's actually against the game's EULA as well. When you start the game and you launch it and you accept, it is against that too. And I know we got off topic of Jinxie, but my topic with Jinxie has already been covered and over. First little bit there. But yeah, it's one of those things I do kind of want to go over and talk about as well in the background with, like, if you're going to set and run a server, you got to at least follow the EULA. For both what you're hosting the server from, which is your Discord. So you not only have, you have to make your own Discord rules, but you are also having to accept the rules that Discord enforces. So not only can you make your own rules, but you also have to enforce what's in the EULA, the terms of service you have accepted on that platform. So even in your rules, if you don't write, we don't tolerate racism, Discord already does not. That is already something that is thrown in there. At any given time, if you support that, not only can that be reported and you get removed off Discord, but the person you're allowing to write the N-word or any other type of racist remark can also get banned from Discord. Okay? So your server also has to follow in Discord's policies and rules. So, and when I say this, I'm not saying it without truth. Everyone who has followed me from my music channel to my gaming channel, anything I talk about on someone, I have follow-up proof. I take what's called evidence. I have videos, screenshots, or something of the matter to prove what I'm saying is correct. Okay? So, ASAP. 1. Anybody, we should not be tolerating racist remarks. So anytime someone drops something racist, should be literally gone. Not even minutes later. Soon as something is said like that, it needs to be dealt with. Next, just because someone disagrees with you, you should not be banning them off your Discord. Yes, it is your Discord. You have the right to say who is or isn't allowed to be there. But if you're going to have a gaming community, especially like if I catch a ban and now I need to report my side of that ban because of one of your dumbass admins done something they've already shown to do, which, by the way, they've also already shown they support cheating, because they'll take a cheat and call it a bug or a glitch. I'm sorry. There is no bug and glitch in Arma that lets you walk over an open field as if you're flying. You are not Superman in Arma. Okay? I've sent clips with, literally, you guys can go look on my YouTube, review back a little bit and clips from my actual uploaded videos. and you're going to see where a dude is legit walking on air and chucking grenades. That is not a glitch. That is literally what's called no clip, which is flying. On top of cheats, because they already said it wasn't an admin, which means it has to be cheats, which, by the way, has a dude in a invisible car, meaning nothing there. The dude himself is invisible, driving around, not only shooting at players, because literally if you watch the clip that I have, including my full video where I've clipped the video down, but the full video, the dude is up in some bushes firing a 50 cal off of this gun. It's completely invisible. You just see the gun shooting, so I thought it was further back in the bushes. Drives down the hill, and you can hear the car. You just can't see it. So when I actually push out, he legit comes driving past me, singing the same song you hear in Fallout 76 as the opening song. So, nah, brother. Like, literally recorded clips I've sent timestamps or even shorter versions of to them for them to say it was a glitch. Okay, they're supporting cheats at that point. Because they're not willing to say, okay, we have a cheat issue, let's ban the player. They're saying it is a glitch, so we're going to do nothing. Now, when someone is cheating, the definition of a cheat means they abuse something that could be either A, in the game mechanic-wise, that is called glitches, or B, something that is a mod menu, something outside of the game that you actually mod into. A cheat is actually something you're not supposed to do, but you can still do it. Meaning, aimbot, wall hacks, wall breaching, right? A glitch, finding a location where you can run or jump that breaches you through a wall so you can shoot out to the enemy, but the wall is invincible, meaning the enemy cannot shoot you, is still cheating. Okay, same as if you get a third-party controller that has rapid fire, is still cheating. Okay? So even if there is a glitch to let someone literally walk in the air by performing some type of like glitch, that is still cheating to say someone can fly when every other player that is playing normally does not do that. Okay, they are still abusing something, and that abuse is still a cheat. But again, we're coming back because that is called no clip. Again, which is inside a mod menu. It is not a glitch. Amen. Do your jobs as an admin and an owner. And again, inside Arma's EULA, using anything of that sort is against their EULA. That is a ban, something that breaks the terms of service. So your server can take a hit from that. Not only can they actually reach out to the people that run the server, meaning, you know, wherever you're hosting from, let's pretend it's Nitrado, they can reach out to, say, Nitrado and be like, hey, Nitrado, I don't know how long the server's been up, but you need to kill this service. They've been allowing cheaters in and bypassing our terms of service. So not only are they going to ban your account, they're going to remove your server. And yes, you will get a refund for it. It's not going to be the full refund because essentially you can ask for a refund for a service at any time when you have a server. But however many days you've used, they take off of your refund. So let's say you paid $180 for an entire month. You used 20 days of that. You're only going to get refunded for 10 days. Okay? That's what's going to hit your account, is the money that of the bit you did not use. Once that service is gone, you're probably not going to be able to open another server under the same account because you already broke terms of service. You're allowing cheats. your account's going to get banned, your server's going to come offline, and then your whole community is gone anyways. Okay? I'm not saying I'm going that far myself to do it. I'm just saying the repercussions that can come from it. Just ban the cheaters. Don't sit there and protect them. Okay, just get them the fuck out. Arma has an IP ban anyways. They do. If you have the proper shit, you can actually go on your computer, sign into your admin, and then you run the command IP ban. And then their actual Steam ID or ID in game. Once you run that, their IP is banned. They can no longer join your server with that IP. They're going to have to, change their IP by spoofing it or running a VPN as in a virtual private network that will auto change their IP. At that point, they have to change their IP, make sure the IP to the system is what's changed depending on what system they're on, and then create a brand new account so the new IP doesn't get flagged, right? Because it's the same account. A lot of that has to be done. So when you say we have a cheat problem, ban the IP when you know it's a cheater. Do IP ban. Make them have to literally switch their VPN, take a little extra time, because once they go through 30 minutes of constant account setups, I'm pretty sure they're going to quit your server. They're not going to want to sit there and spend 900 hours to try to play a server to ruin the experience when their experience is not that fun, when they're constantly having to go account create. They don't want to sit there and do that, okay? Especially under the account creation, they now also have to toggle the VPN. And most VPNs, by the way, they don't have multiple different IP addresses for the same thing. When you click US, it's one IP. So they have to literally click US and the different things within the US, and then the different things within Europe, the different things within Asia. Once they run out of the fucking different options they cannot no longer go through an IP with, they're off your server anyways. Just IP ban them. Because now you have two things that is breaking the EULA to not only the game, but to your Discord. And the funny thing is, if you're a streamer, there's what's called repulsive content report on YouTube, where if you stream yourself cheating, you can actually get hit with a repulsive report. And if they actually feel it's really repulsive for the cheat, you can lose your channel or take a strike. And then after 3, you lose your channel. On Twitch, they don't even care if you're cheating in a game. If you are cheating in a video game, that's already repulsive. Your Twitch is done. They are going to ban your Twitch. You are completely removed. A lot of platforms now that allow streaming does not support cheats. You will lose the channel, all the content you've done, gone. Okay, every subscriber, follower, gone. All right. Just wanted to point that out. So not only do I feel you do content for your own server, that content can get flagged once you actually are proven you support cheaters, racism, racist remarks. Yeah, you can get let go. Even the community at that point can be repulsed and feel like, oh, you allow cheaters and people that are racist as hell and then you lose your subscribers. So it doesn't even have to be completely killing your YouTube from YouTube. It could just be the subscribers killing your channel because they don't like who you are anymore. I just want to point that out. So ASAP, as I said, I'll accept an apology. I will. Okay. But don't think I won't put out there the shit you've done. Okay. As me to be someone who does media and gaming, I mean, if I have to let you guys know why I'm no longer playing on a server or I'm no longer in a server's Discord, I will do so. And I will give you the full honest truth to why. So, ASAP, I'll accept an apology, my dude. And then from there, everyone you've wronged like me, you better give an apology to them. But Jinxie, again, nothing completely bad against you. I'm just making a call to the stuff that I found is bullshit on your behalf, and I feel like should take a review and you redo it. Okay. Again, you're a good creator. Continue down the path. Just please don't do bullshit again in the future. Especially if you see bullshit, call it immediately. Apart from that, I'm thinking of doing some warm up a little bit. So we'll start off with private match, and then we'll move into some pubs. One, I need to actually get used to the aiming in this and the keybinds because I've been playing too much Reforger, which has a massive different feel. There's no slide canceling, which means I'm going to have to get used to slide canceling. The aim for each is a little different, where I feel like over here I can have a better reaction time, and Reforger just feels slower. But then when I try upping it, it just kind of really messed with the aim because, you know, my mouse here, which has different like DPS settings for like when I'm doing this, feels different. So this already feels like 2 times the speed of what my Arma Reforger is at the moment. I wish both could feel about the same. Then I wouldn't have to worry. But I do feel like I am going to need to hop into some domination. The map will do something like, I don't know, what maps are there actually? We'll start from the bottom and work our way up. Zenith, Kai, Vertigo, Utopia, Shin, Torque. Okay, so not really a lot of maps, and some of them are like old maps anyways. I'm thinking of doing, I don't want to do that one. Vertigo is not horrible, and actually, you know what? It is a ranked map, which means let's get used to it. Rules, let's see. Round limit, 1 round. We're going to go for 2 rounds. Round switch is every round. Round time limit is unlimited. Round score limit is 200, which means technically we'd have to reach... Actually, we'll do 250, which means it'll be 500 after. Match start time is actually going to be something like 5 seconds. Round start time is going to be something like 5 seconds. Input swap is going to be allowed. That way, in case it disconnects my mouse and key, I can still put it in. Allow call out pings is going to be on, so it's just the regular stuff. Advanced here, points per kill, all of that good stuff. We're actually going to do 1 point per kill, so it's not only capture time, but you can also still go for kills. Points per death, headshot bonus points, score streak, time to capture flag, we'll say 10 seconds, because I feel like capture should be a little bit faster. Maximum capture rate multipliers times 3. Okay, let's see. Player number of lives is unlimited. Max health. We're going to lower this because I don't like the kill time being in this game the way it is. We're going to do something with like 65 points of health. I feel like that would feel a little better. Health regeneration is going to be normal. Third person view off. Tackle sprint is going to be on. Weapon mounting is going to actually be off because weapon mounting is ridiculous anyways. Allow revives is going to be off. Downed health. Not going to worry about any of that. None of this. And none of that. All right. Over to team. So spectating is going to be player view. Third person spectating is going to be off. Kill cam is going to be on. Enable minimap is actually going to be yes. Radar always on is going to be no. I'm going to wait for a kill streak to do that. Weapon pings on minimap is going to be on. Weapon pings on compass is going to be off. Enemy on compass is going to be on. Respawn delay is none. Actually, we're going to do a half-second delay just so that way we don't have like the stupid respawns occasionally. Wave spawn delay is going to be none. Suicide spawn delay is actually going to be 1 second if you suicide. Force respawn is going to be on. Team assignment is on. Friendly fire is off because I don't feel like you should be able to kill your own teammates. That's one thing I disliked about hardcore in a way. Especially if they're going to let you do it and then be like, oh, I'm sorry, after 2, you kill yourself. Like, nah, brother. If you didn't want people to team kill with you activating it, it should just be off anyways. Hardcore mode is going to be off. Headshots is off. Health steal is off. Allow field upgrades is on. Field upgrade charge rate. We're going to go ahead and do ×3. Field upgrade score multiplier, still low. Perks is going to be on. Disabled perk specialties is going to be on. Because we don't need specialties showing like stuff through walls or, you know, somebody being able to have the bullshit of, oh, someone's aiming on me. Even though they're behind me, I somehow know. We're going to turn that off. Disable overclocks. We'll be fine with that. The score streaks is on. Round retained score streaks is on. Retained streaks on death is going to be off. I'm kidding. It'll be on. Normal settings there. Score streak delay is going to be off. Persistent streak progress is going to actually... There. We're going to do that. Wrap score streaks on. Equipment delay is going to be off. Equipment protection, we're going to do something for 2.5. Battle chatter is going to be off. Announcer dialogue is going to be off. Automatic doors is actually going to be off. Dynamic map elements is going to be on. So now you have to like open doors or shoot them to open them, I believe, is what that is doing. That way, like walking up next to a door doesn't auto trigger it. Actually, you know what? We'll leave it on. All right, like that. And then what we're going to do is we're only going to give me 3 teammates. So 2 bots, so it'll be just 3 of us. And it's actually going to be versus 6. So it's going to be a 3v6, which is going to make this harder already. Actually, you know what? We'll do 4v6. So that way it'll be like having confirm. So that way it's 4v6. So there's only 2 players less, right? What we're going to do is to get ourselves better, I actually want to remove these bots because I just done a oopsie on them. Hold on. I'm keeping regular, so to be like me with like 3 recruits, which is what usually happens in ranked, versus, we'll say, it'll be a 4v4 actually, on veteran. So, like, literally this is how it usually feels when you go into a regular match, right? Especially in ranked. 3 oofs versus 4 of yous, okay? And that's pretty much going to be how that's going to feel. Weapons, let's go actually set up the class we're going to be running. So we're going to go to this one, and it's no longer going to be this gun. I was just using that just to see what all we can get on it when it came out. But let's use, I don't know, maybe an SMG, should we? Should we use an SMG, chat? You know what? We'll get used to using this. We'll do this. which should be Ghost, Cold-Blooded Ninja, and then Scavenger. That way we can just keep picking up our ammo since they don't spawn enough for us usually. This will be fine. We can have that. Get better at the dual wields. That'll be fine. This one is going to get changed. We're going to go ahead and do the mod 15 pro issue. This is actually going to be, you know what? That'll be fine. We can try that. We can try this. I already had that. Oh, we already have this sniper as well, so we don't need this one. Let's think. We can use another SMG. And do something like the Drevik. Which is this one. Got the Hawker there. And nothing inside of this one. Alright. Alright, so we got these. And I feel like those are going to be basically good enough in a way. I like it. Alright. Play. And now it is time just to warm up, so we can go ahead and click start match. Oh boy, I feel like my aim is going to be off. It's going to be really off. Same as like my movement is going to be off. Boop. So my latency being 25 is not bad. Packet loss at 0. Oh boy. I'm going to feel like I'm doing 360s and just a slight flick of my wrist. Oh, let's do it. Let's get better and then we'll head off to pubs. When I feel like I consistently drop like 4, 5, 6 kills without dying in this, we'll go to pubs. But that's also going to throw me off a little bit because the warm-up is with less health than you'd normally get in pubs anyways. Bruh. How do I lose connection to a, like, this? Does this make sense to you guys? Confirm. Actually do 4v4. Veteran. Okay. Modes. Oh, it's already Dom. The map actually should be Vertigo. Rules. 2 rounds. 250. 5 and 5. Advanced. 1 point per kill. Player. 65. Limited. Weapon mounting. What was that again? Right here. Off. Teams. Yes. Things on minimap. UAV only. Compass. UAV only. There, we'll do that instead of off. And then respawn delay. This. Suicide 1. Gameplay. Perks is on. Blah. Field upgrade. ×3. Disable specialties. Start. That was very, very weird, guys. Let's try that again, shall we? There we go. Oh yeah, I can feel like this is not gonna be good for the first little bit. My bet is they're gonna push mid. Oh, I'm dead here. Yep. My aim was horrible. That's why I wanted to warm up, guys. But see how my team is, like, really going outside of what they need to? Oh, there's another one there. And that's kind of how the other people would play. Because instead of coming through and being ready to stand up and fight, ooh, and that's what I'm saying, one-shotting shotguns, my dude. Alright, we're gonna get off of this class right quick. And let's try this. Oh god, this is my little... Alright. Contested, they're gonna destroy my thing. Wall bangs. I'll say weirdly through, like, the entire wall like that. I'm sorry, AR didn't one-tap you, but okay, nah, that is... No, COD, we need some better shit there. I'm sorry, a shotgun being that strong at that range, but an AR isn't, like, overpowering, that is crazy. Constantly contested because of me.
We got the advantage. Now we have to keep it.
I shouldn't have to hold the button to collect my ammo. I should be able just to tap it. Thanks, game. Literally, I laid down, tapped it to do the other shit, and it was like, no, we're gonna make you wait. I should have died there. That was my aim reaction on that one. Yeah, they shot my decoy. My teammates are setting back. It's only me actually playing for the objective at the moment. Heal up. Not reload. Behind me, where's my fucking team? And this is like the idiots I was telling you about. This is how my other team would actually be playing, exactly the same as this. One shot at me is bullshit. That is not a sniper rifle. Or is it a rifle? It's a shotgun, which means from here to this door should be the one-shotting range, not me to that fucking pillar. Picked up a gun because my interact key is somehow picking shit up on the thing when reload is the first thing I tell it to do. The AI is just like weirdly somehow just OP. Cannot use my ass, you better fucking use it. He should have died. 60 health, not 100. So you can see how the hit red kind of bullshits you over here too. Out of lethal is bullshit. I just picked up a lethal. I don't know about that bullshit game. AI bot or not, there's no attachments on that, which means it would be doing this, not staying right here. That gun is not zero recoil. Seeing through that to hit me is bullshit, especially since my feet don't make noise. You're not hearing me. Grenade should have killed him, or he would have ran out and it should have gave us the thing back with my thing being there. Where's my team? I'm gonna throw this right here. I missed those. Those are my bad. My bad. This needs to get removed. I laid down. Got him. Died by the second one, though. My team does not know how to get the fuck in there, though. AI bots are not under fucking regular. They should at least be pushing the goddamn objective, since it's OBJ-based game mode. Get the fucking objective, Riri's. I don't know why that lasted so long, especially with me stemming up. I've literally watched other people stem and it gets rid of it immediately. Don't know why the fuck it didn't for me. Punching is not going to kill me. I'm sorry if this doesn't kill a goddamn punch a person swings. It's not going to do more damage than this. Where's my fucking team? Of course, he just stares after hearing gunshots. Fire back. At least do like I did. Even though I missed, I at least fucking shot. I laid down. Why the fuck are you sliding, game? This is a fucking lay down, not a slide. I went like this. A little more to go, baby.
Secure the objective. Securing Alpha.
Alright, we're gonna go with this. I'm gonna immediately rush B.
Got the lead. Taking B.
That's bullshit.
Losing B.
That gun is not gonna overpower my gun. It's a goddamn SMG game. SMGs are 9mm. ARs are 5.56. I do more damage per bullet. I'd report that I could because I report every bullshit death. Get him off of this. So it doesn't shoot through that. That's bullshit. I did not hit the switch weapons. Again, I did not hit the switch weapons.
Locking down Bravo. Underway on Bravo.
Got him.
Losing Bravo.
I'd report that bullshit death. Throwing knife does more damage than a fucking gun does. See that? I'd accept because I missed.
Losing B. Lost B.
Game, when I jump for the bottom window, you jump for the bottom window, nothing else. Bullshit. He should be dead. Drop shot or not, I already fucking shot his bitch ass.
Losing A. Lost Alpha. Taking C. We control zone C.
Heard that a little late. Hello, how many shots did I fucking land for this bitch to be able to kill me? That's bullshit. Oh, I'm dead. Yep, even though the MP hit, I'm still dead because it's all like iron sights, so the MPs do nothing. Team, can we stop being fucking Down syndrome kitties for a second? There's 4 of us. Get to the goddamn objective. Stop running around. Or running past fucking enemies when you guys are retarded. Jesus, fuck me, dude. God damn. Where's my teammate? Where's my fucking Down syndrome friends? Where's my Down syndrome team? Get to the goddamn objective, Riri. Of course we do. Got it. They're gonna take it. I have goddamn retards on my team, dude. Blow up. It's been well past the time. It's staying close because my team just keeps giving it to him. Team, can you get your fucking slow cunt asses in the... Good job, teammate. Give it to us both, because you want to be retarded and not shoot back. If you would have shot once, he would have been dead. No ifs, buts, and ands. Fucking team! Of course we did. Ruri's don't know what the fuck they're doing. Got the fucking sped class for a goddamn team. Yeah, you're bullshitting. I shot ahead, which means I should have been more damage than that. Nice, team. Give him a goddamn kill streak because you retards don't know what the fuck you're doing. I'm sorry. Nah, you're bullshitting, dude.
Losing A. Locking down. Taking B.
And defeated because of my fucking team, dude. Literally. Exactly how the fucking other games feel because how retarded this shit is, bro. Literally what you just seen is how my public matches go. You can see how I'm top fragging, how I'm getting onto the objective, and then all the other three retards go the opposite fucking direction. Or they don't even go to fucking zone. They set in their spawn. They fucking go off to like somewhere that's not even a fucking OBJ. They're placing shit down outside of OBJ. Literally, that's the fucking public teams I get. And that's why I don't like fucking playing this game, dude. Because how all these were playing and constantly coming to the zone is how these should be playing. No matter the difficulty that it's stuck to. No matter the difficulty. Okay? Everyone, even on recruit, should know the objective they're going towards. Especially when they go into a game. Like, hold on. When they hit find match, it actually tells them. For instance, if I do this, it'll actually tell them domination. And then right next to that will actually say hardcore domination, limited HUD, low health, friendly fire enabled, and much more. And it actually tells you the time, the score limit to reach, and the party size. And then after they played for a game or two, they'd understand these flags after capped equals score limit, which means we protect that. Any fucking idiot would understand that. But I bet you if I went into this, you would see people running off to their spawn to like try to spawn trap. You'll see people doing other shit. They don't play the OBJ, man. Like if you wanted to play TDM, there it is. This. Right? Same as in search and destroy. You'll see people run all the way to their spawn. They'll pick up the bomb and run all the way to the enemy spawn, die and drop it inside the enemy spawn. They will not try to plant. Like, it's ridiculous, man. And at this point, you know what? At this point, because I can see how the game wants to let the bots eat bullets on something that's offline, is going to be even worse online. They're going to eat even more. Okay? We've already witnessed that with bots. Do I want to go in 25 ping and fill the bullshit with bots to land in a lobby that could be 60, 70 ping and have it like 3-4 times fucking worse? Do I really want to do that tonight? Not really. You can hear when I said like, oh, my aim was off. You can hear when I said, okay, I should be dead here. But the times I was shooting some idiot and then I'm like, the game's going to let this fucking idiot kill me after eating is bullshit. You can hear the moments that comes from. Because that is true. Okay? 5.56 should outclass 9mm any day. Okay? 7.62 should outclass 5.56 and 9mm any day. Alrighty? If you're going to do damage by rifle, at least do it by its fucking caliber. Right? 7.62 beats 5.56. 5.56 beats pistol and shotgun at range. Right? Like, fix it. The caliber in this gun is higher than the one shooting at me. I should not be losing that fucking gunfight. Alrighty? That's one. Two, there's actually something I do want to verbally, like, throw out there, and this is at Punch. Punch, I love you, man. I called you a good creator. You can see I've told people to go sub to you, and you deserve a lot more. But in which case, I do got something I disagree with, and I am going to fully put that out there. When you were talking about the Modern Warfare 4 beta, you're like, the kill time is too fast. No. There's no such thing as a too fast kill time. There's such thing as too long. When they're eating 6, 8, 12, 20 fucking bullets, there's too long. All right? 4 bullets to kill is not bad. That's actually going for the realism, and that's actually what a gun should feel like. It should feel like a gun. It shouldn't feel like I'm shooting fucking marshmallows at somebody and hoping that they fucking eat too many and die due to obesity. All right? It should not feel like that. Yeah, shoot somebody, they should be fucked. Not running away and, let me stim up. Let me feel like a juggernaut. All right? No, they should be dead. All right? If we want to talk about skill and we want to talk about awareness and we want to talk about having a pro league, the game needs to have something that forces skill, which, by the way, means a faster time to kill. Okay? Meaning people don't just run at people brain dead. They actually check their corners, playing tactical. They actually, move more methodically. They don't just run, gun, shoot, jump, hoop, slide, blah, blah, blah. They legit play a little more tactically. Now, I understand, like, having too fast to kill time is making people sit in a corner, but at the same time, the game can nudge them out of that corner. If you sat in a corner for 5 seconds, you get pinged on the mini-map. Or you get highlighted. So this way it forces a more movement play style in the game, right? So people are forced to move a little more often. So we don't actually get too many campers. Or at least do what I've said as another thing in your like, you're not live stream, but your video, when I actually texted and dropped a comment, I literally said, balance the perks more, like a little bit more. Don't make perks stupid, but balance them. For instance, if I have to continue to move to stay off the radar with Ghost, then make, Ninja completely silent. This way, when I'm moving around, there's no, sound giving me away when I'm forced to move. Or B, make Ninja reduce the sound, okay, to your footsteps, but then allow camping. Allow them to set in one spot and not show up to the UAV. This way you're balancing your perk system so no one's completely silent, but they can be hidden from the UAV like they plan to be. Or B, make them have to hide from UAV while moving, but then their movement is silent, so this way you just don't have people sound whoring somebody that is forced to constantly stay moving. Balancing. Use your brain. Balance, right? Again, that good stuff. One thing I didn't cover in your comments is the perk, or after you set up a perk alignment, that you get a special version of perks, which allows you to know when you're being aimed at, no matter what, is bullshit. I'm sorry. If I pulled a gun in real life to the back of your fucking head, unless my barrel is touching your fucking head, you aren't going to know it. You're none the fucking wiser. We should not have something that is like, oh, I'm being aimed at, move, 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 when you don't see the person aiming on you. All right? Maybe make the perk only work for a certain field of view in front of the player. So even if it's a little to the right, but they might be looking left with their physical eyes in real life, but the person aiming on them to the right is aiming, then make their screen flash, because then, their actual character in the game can see the scope glint. But if the person is behind the person, no effect. That way the person does not know they're being aimed at, because realistically they would not have real knowledge to know they're being aimed at. At least balance the perk. Like, see what I'm saying, guys? I sit here and I say balance, balance, balance. I'm not saying to completely remove it. I'm not saying to, make it completely obsolete. I'm just asking for some balancing. Add realism a little bit into the game. I'm not going as far as to say, like, I want it to be Armor Reforger. Make it where you shoot their left arm, it breaks, and their fucking aim goes everywhere no matter what. You shoot their leg, they're forced to drop on the ground and fucking crawl because their leg's broken. I'm not asking for that. I'm just asking for some realism. Some being the key word. Okay? I didn't ask for, like, when you get shot, you actually have to, like, bandage up and inject yourself with morphine and give yourself an EpiPen, or give your teammate an EpiPen if they're knocked and you're having to pick them up from downstate, right? I'm not asking for the full medical system like Arma Reforger. Again, I'm just asking for a little more realism. A gun should be a gun. The perk shouldn't feel like a cheater's point of view, of what cheaters want. It should actually still be natural, okay? And a little more realism would be great. This is coming from player who also plays Armor Reforger. There's time, yes, I want, like, super hyper realism, but guess where I got that? Reforger. When I want to play it, I'll play that. But at times I just want to chill, shoot, and still have something where I feel like I have to be good at it, not something holding hands and being bullshit, right? I want to play COD, right? Fuck Battlefield. They say realism, but the only realism there is bullet drop and smashing of buildings. I can take a fucking sniper on a high caliber and still get a fucking hit marker. Not an insta-kill, a fucking hit marker, right? So I can't say that's real. You shoot somebody, they're not going to be standing. Even if they don't die immediately, when you get hit with a bullet and it goes through you, that is breaking bones. Have you ever broke your foot, your ankle, your leg or something and tried to fucking walk on it? I'm pretty sure you have, and it failed. You know why? Because when your bone is broken, there's no actual fucking support. That means the two bones are going to just miss each other, and you're going to be landing on something that's just fucking skin, hanging shit that makes you fall, and you fall on your face. Okay? You're going to be hitting the ground. You're not fucking walking on that. But anyways, I'm not asking for super hyper realism like that. What I'm asking for is if I shoot somebody, don't make them beam. Give them flinch. Right? At least add the realism of flinch when being shot. And I'm not talking about like one little goes up barely and just stays completely straight. I mean, literally make them when they're being shot being like, oh, fuck. Right? Make it seem like it actually fucking hurts. Make their aim horrible when being shot. Right? Don't let them beam. Like, just that added little bit of realism wouldn't actually drive the good players away. It would only drive away the bullshit ones. And when I say bullshit ones, I mean the ones that more likely play Fortnite anyways, or Battlefield. That way your game would actually come out to be something where you can actually claim to have pro-issue players that play for cash and actually have skill. And you would actually have a hardcore base of players, even if it is a little less than you already have, right? You'd have a hardcore base of players that actually have skill in the game and find the game fun. Because no longer are they dying to bullshit, they die when they naturally get outplayed. And then those that find some of the stuff I just said is bullshit would actually start feeling like, oh, actually, you know what? I'm killing within 4 bullets. I'm not dying to bullshit. The hit reg isn't saying somebody's shooting my goddamn ghost and killing me. I'm still getting a kill on something I deserved. And they're more than likely going to push through the shit, some of it that they don't like, to still play it. Right? Which means you don't lose your entire player base. And if anything, other people coming over from Arma in games with like a little more realistic feel to the games would naturally still say, hey, you know what? This isn't as real as Arma, but it's still fucking good. What I would love to see, and I don't mean like Arma coming to Call of Duty and taking their advice. No. I'm talking about Treyarch, Activision, all of the Call of Duty development teams talking to Arma, Bohemia Interactive, and learning. Right? Learn how to make an open map, because DayZ was better than fucking DMZ. God-given truth. Arma with its like domination versions or King of the Hill, Call of Duty can learn for its open world shit and make it better. Gun damage to like how actual calibers work, the damage it would go to each different vest and XYZ, right? They would be able to learn that shit, and guess what? The game would be better. Right? I'm not saying like super hyper realism the fuck out of the game, just add some. But again, I am saying like I would love for them to sit down with Bohemia Interactive and actually learn how to develop a fucking game, right? Keep the FPS and the online feel of like how stable the connection is in COD, but have the graphics, the bullet damage, and all of that come from Bohemia Interactive. The movement needs to stay with Call of Duty, but the actual like damage to fill the game and all that should be like Arma. Okay? Trust me, it would be better. Way better. So I'd love to see the two studios actually sit down and make a baby, right? Don't be full Call of Duty and don't be full Bohemia Interactive, even though I prefer Bohemia Interactive heading over the project. Make it 50-50. And if anything, if any of them gets more say, it better be Bohemia Interactive, because Bohemia already makes better games, let's be honest. 100%. DayZ, Arma, 180 times better than Call of Duty. God, just please take a book out of Arma 3 and Arma Reforger, even DayZ, on how guns should feel. All right, on damage-wise, its shot, its recoil placement, Arma, DayZ, okay? But as always, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the content. I'm going to have to pop off here and take a second to chill. I'm going to make me some tea, probably get me something to eat, and then we'll probably be hopping on some Arma or just getting ready for other shit later tonight. See you guys in a bit. Peace.